So now you're at the last step, which is going down to the bottom here after you've recorded your bass part. You've got the structure correct, you've put all your triads in, and you've set your score up right, and you've done the chord grid. We now need to go down and we need to label the chart with the chord symbols, double bar lines, rehearsal structure markings, etc., etc. So over here on your score, you will have, of course, you'll have notes in the keyboard part, you'll have a full bass guitar part, which is just the tonic notes of each of these chords in triads, and then you'll have filled up, of course, 8 bars of an A section and 8 bars of a B section. So now what we need to do is we need to, of course, decide, well, we need to probably label the score in A and B. It's very simple in Sibelius. You're probably over here on the Note Input or the Notations tab. What we want to be able to do, the Home tab here, what we want to do is we want to be able to click where the A section starts or label where it starts and where the B section starts. So of course the A section starts in your first bar. So we click on, you'll notice that I just clicked on that first bar line there. Looks like that, and it highlights it in purple. If I go up to text, go across to rehearsal marks and click on the drop-down menu, it'll come up with consecutive rehearsal mark and restart sequence. Well, we haven't got a sequence to restart, so we need a consecutive rehearsal mark. So we click on that, and it puts this nice little A above it. Now we know that the A section is going to be 8 bars long, because that's part of the structure. So here's A, 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So it finishes here, which means that the B section is going to start down here at bar 9. So if I click on the bar line, of course it'll go purple. It's hard to see, but it turns it purple. Again, click on the rehearsal mark, and it puts a nice B in there for us. So now we have an A section, and we have a B section. The form or the structure of your piece is going to be A, B, A, B, which means that so far on your chart you have an A section and you have a B section. In order to be able to have another A, B, the easiest thing to do would be to go and put a repeat mark at the end of the B section. So now we'll go A, B, A, B. So let's add a repeat mark now, which is as simple as clicking on that last bar so it's purple. I think it's going to notations, which it is, clicking on bar line and then putting end repeat. And it looks like that. We don't need to put a start repeat because it's obvious that this is asking us to go all the way back to the beginning and play through again. And there you have your simple AB, AB form. The next thing you need to be able to do is you've got to go through and put the chord symbols and probably the double bar lines on your chart. We want to have a double bar line at the end of the A section and at the beginning of the B section. So it separates the two sections. So let's go to bar lines again. Click on that bar line at the end of the A section. Click the bar lines tab and just put a simple double bar line, which tells us that the section has ended. Now what we need to do is go through and put the chord symbols in. And this again is fairly simple. We don't need to label these so far. You can if you want, but we're not going to go through and worry about that at the moment. We just want to name the chords. So we want to go here, and we know that this is a C chord, because from my chord grid originally, I had chord 1, which was C, E, G. We're going to label that chord now. We know that chord 1 in a C scale is a C chord. Looks like that. So all we need to do now is to simply go through and label it. So go to text, because it'll be as a text type, and we click chord symbols, and then simply type C. And it'll bring the C up, the chord symbol above. Next, what I want to do is I want to go to the next bar. I want to name that as the chord symbol that it is. I'll give you a clue. It's probably that. Next, so on and so forth. What I've done to go from bar to bar is I've just clicked, or I've hit the tab key on my keyboard, and it goes across to the next bar. If in the case of down here per se, you've got 2 chords per bar, you'll need to be able to do it in the following fashion. So click on the chord you want, click chord symbol, then type in the name of the chord, and you'll notice now that if I hit tab, it'll go to the next bar. I don't want to go to the next bar, so I hit delete and go back to where I was. I've got to hit the space bar this time. So I hit the space bar twice, because you guessed it, each time you hit the space bar, it spaces across 1 beat in the bar. So I started here on F, which is beat 1. I hit the space bar and it goes to beat 2, Now this chord falls in on beat 3. So if I hit the spacebar again, there's the third beat, put the chord symbol above it, and from there I can either go beat 4, beat 1, or I can just simply go tab and it'll go to the next bar. All right, so that's putting all the chord symbols on. Once you've done that, please make sure that you're going back to the file menu and that you're saving your work. You can just call it the original chord progression. That's completely up to you, and then save it. Make sure that you're continually saving all the time. And then once you've done that, our next step in the process is we're going to record this into GarageBand.